Um, I decided, well, to some extent, I decided that I would not try to access my old account. I'm just practically just going to leave it. And I went through a period where I basically I went and looked up the word meek, and part of that was restraint, gentleness. See, there's a lot of words out there that I never bothered to learn, and so I don't really know. It's kind of like I learn later, kind of not. I don't really actively go out and try to figure out what things mean. I just assume. Whenever I was in high school, I had a history teacher that tried to put through the idea that you never assume because it makes an ass out of you and me. And of course, what that means, which I don't really get, but I now I do kind of, is that you spread information that you don't really know, and then other people take that information to be truth, and then they spread it to other people um, as fact because they think that they've been informed, and when they learn of the truth, then they won't trust you, and then they will then their friends will have the same effect, and so there's just overall, I guess, a lack of trust, and it's from pretty much doing the thing that I've been doing on my other channel. And so I think the thing to do is, rather than think arrogantly that I can fix the world by informing it, I may actually be destroying the world as a result of misinforming it as well. And that I put disclaimer with it because I don't actually know a whole lot. I just think I do. And I would just say that I'm sorry for that. That I'm not careful enough. And I think I'm really fixing things whenever I'm not really fixing things. And whenever I say what I'm going to say, there somewhere in there there's some good intent, but then there's also a part of me that feels pressure to do it now because I have this fear of entering hell, or that this is already hell, which is probably the case. And really, kind of this voice is like, how can you possibly say anything good? You know, knowing the kind of person you are. You know, and I don't really face the person that I am. I just figure somehow I can improve on it. You know, and the problem is that the ego rears its ugly head whenever it's um, trying to get originality, or trying to get um, uh, kind of when you're trying to get, or when I'm trying to get, rather than saying you're trying to get, but when I'm trying to get, what's the word? I'm trying to get support, or I'm trying to get people, I'm trying to convince people of being an authority figure or something like that. It's true, I've been in a lot of places and times, but I really just to a very light degree. You know, just like a jack of all trades, not seeing it every day, showing restraint, and then like, um, you know, really just kind of just letting things happen to an extent because you don't. I guess the thing is that I think I can fix things, but the truth of the matter is that things just keep popping up all the time, and it's like it's just a never-ending battle of of trying to fix. It's kind of like playing whack-a-mole. You know, you just keep slapping down at things, and you're doing the. It's just distracting you from doing things you could be doing that would be fixing things, rather than talking, actually acting on. And now I'm kind of thinking like maybe I should go out and take on one of these jobs that, these retailer giants now are trying to find workers to fill positions. And but there's a part of me that says like, what am I expecting to fix here? What am I expecting to help? How would I know that I'm actually helping or hurting things? What we're seeing is we're seeing these corporations pretty much dissolving. And you have to also keep in mind that there were small businesses until these things showed up. And so maybe the solution is just to let it be. And if everybody is pretty much of the same kind of feeling that they don't need workers, that they're just going to dissolve as a result of people's neglect of them, it's probably deserved. It's sad, but it's probably deserved. And in the same way that what happens to me ultimately is deserved. It's sad, but it's deserved. And if this is hell, then I guess that's the outcome. Is that I just need to realize that that's the outcome. And there's nothing I can do to fix it. And the way I feel is I feel like somebody that died in the Twin Towers. They got covered up with debris and is just sitting there hoping that this isn't the end. And I think I came up here to say something completely different, but I think that's a better way of putting a face on the whole thing. I think anything I could say that would help people, if this is still Earth, that would help people along. And this isn't arrogance, it's just helping people realize how I came to this point, is really just a kind of a desperation to deal with my own matters rather than to rely on that I don't have the answers, And in what I was doing to sort of soften the blows, to try to make myself satisfied, with where I was at, was these things that were giving me dopamine. I don't have to get into specifics that were. You can dig it up, you can find out what it was, but basically what these things did to me was make me kind of avoid pursuing things that would be beneficial to me, but I was too lazy to do it, or I was just daunted by the task of doing it, and not trusting myself enough to be able to go through it, not trusting Jesus, not trusting anybody, And so I guess the result is that everything I'm seeing in the news now is just kind of a reflection of myself. It just extrapolated to a greater degree. And I'm just spending time kind of not really entertained, but I guess to some degree I am entertained, because I'm really just looking for something to take my mind off of the future, whatever it is. And I would like to say that I have hope, but I think having hope is a good thing when you think you have the chance for salvation. But looking in the past, I didn't believe either I didn't believe I had salvation, or I didn't have enough forgiveness of myself for things that I had done. I couldn't I couldn't like really come to terms with forgiveness, or I just came up with some reason to forgive it whenever I really couldn't, and would just continue to do the same behaviors and not even try to change. There were times when I did try to change that I was successful for about 6 months, but as a result of the sort of things that I came in, that I was involved with, something would always remind me of where I could be, and there were times when I failed and I fell back into the sin, and it was much harder to come back to fixing it. To going back to the process of putting it away, putting it to death. And there's a part of the Bible that says, and I'm not to say that I'm perfect or anything. All I have right now is just memories of what it says in the Bible. Not to say that I really followed them or anything, but now I understand the things, and it could be too late. There's a part of me that says, well, it's not too late, never too late. But there's a part of me saying that, well, this is not really real. So if you feel like it's not real, then it really isn't a struggle. It's not like you're really in fear because you get the feeling that nothing real is happening, nothing that you can't make a difference. So to at least give you a state of the being of where I'm at. And so I think the best that can come out of that is just to not attribute with me any certain kind of value, and to not say that I'm a good person. I would say that I'm a bad person. I'm just a bad person who's realized too late what I really am, and then realize that I never really kind of acted on things. I just try to come up with excuses to be the person that wasn't going to change. So I think I'll just kind of end it there.